Yeah, so we started HealthKart 2 years ago. The idea was we've identified an unmet need of people wanting authentic products in health from across the country. So even though there are quite a few pharmacies, but the organized market is literally 2 to 3%. So authenticity of fake products is a big problem in health. So we basically leveraged the channel of e-commerce, which was developing very fast, to ship authentic branded products to parts of the country which did not have access to it. Numbers have been phenomenal. There was a huge skepticism when we started that would people buy health online. So our company, literally we started as 4-people team 2 years ago, and now we are close to 450 people. Clearly, the organization has grown, and so has the market acceptance and demand for people buying health products online. So we've seen a significant growth. So obviously, India is a unique place where both the horizontal players, the one that you spoke about, which is selling everything and anything, growing together with the vertical players like ours. The difference is the vertical players are able to better cater to a niche segment, and in health, authenticity plays a big role, and assistance also plays a big role. So we get a lot of calls on our call center where people ask us what is the BP monitor that we should be looking at. So we kind of are able to do that value added much better than the horizontal players. And just being focused allows us to sort of gear our organization to be able to do that. And that is why you're seeing sort of growth of both these together in India. Because I think the larger problem that e-commerce is solving in the country is a distribution problem. So with the lack of organized retail or physical retail infrastructure very difficult to set, we are able to get to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 towns, which are very hard to do. And being a vertical, we are able to cater to demands from. So I think the challenge is a 2 or 3-fold challenge. Obviously, we are just scratching the surface right now. Out of 1 billion people or more than 1 billion people living in the country, internet buyers in total have been just 10 million. I think the key challenge would be the rate of internet penetration increases in the country. There's a lot of hope on mobile, 3G, 4G sort of powering the growth of broadband in the country. 2, the whole ecosystem of payment network needs to evolve to keep in pace with the growth. And 3rd, I think clarity in terms of regulations and regulations will also help. And then I think it will be a naturally much better, more optimal delivery channel, and it will grow. But all these 3 or 4 segments need to grow together for the industry to thrive. I think e-commerce has been going through a very volatile phase because the reason a lot of investments happened in e-commerce was India sort of mirrored where China was in 2005. So what happened is there's a thesis in e-commerce that the leaders typically end up taking a lot of disproportionate amount of market share. So there was sort of a mad rush to sort of identify the leaders or grow the leaders, and then people sort of started looking at unit economics more closely, and then a lot of consolidation happened. So the idea is, and a lot of money was spent to get the first-time consumers to transact online. So the cost of customer acquisition was very high. So for the new guys, I would say definitely iron out the model before you get in, because it's definitely a capital-intensive model, and you would need a lot of obviously a strong team, but also a significant amount of financial backing to sort of go through the growth phase. So just think about that more carefully before you get into it. So obviously Bangalore has been traditionally the high-tech capital of the country. but Delhi has seen a disproportionate amount, or Gurgaon specifically has seen a decent amount of growth of startup companies, and specifically in e-commerce, because Delhi is sort of the biggest market for e-commerce, or in certain categories. So retail in general, Delhi is a big market, and there's a sort of a geography bias in terms of sourcing good products or ability to sort of identify the vendors. So there's a natural sort of inclination to being close to the initial market. So Delhi being sort of a bigger market than Bangalore, you're seeing a lot more sort of e-commerce startup coming here. And after, once you start getting that ecosystem going, then obviously one feeds into the other, and you start seeing a lot more companies here. So Bangalore still is going to be a hub for technology and all that, but you'll see the whole ecosystem in Delhi NCR is growing fairly well, which is leading to the growth here.